Hello students, this is our screencast for Attention Deficit Disorder by Gianna and Marisa.
So what is ADD? Although there is no definite cause or diagnosis for ADD, people with ADD have a defect in their brain, so dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter, is not being produced at a normal level.
This defect happens in the frontal cortex of the brain, which is responsible for cognitive processes, which is like focusing and attention and control of actions.
For example, a person with ADD has a harder time controlling their impulsive actions and focusing on one thing at a time.
So what we learned in class, how the neurotransmitter goes across from the axon into the channel to the next dendrite, there's not enough of it for ADD.
So some signs and side effects of ADD are inattentiveness, impulsive actions, which are mostly shown in children, which can make social settings difficult for people with ADD, inability to focus on one thing at a time, inability to fully care for oneself, and has bad time management and forgetfulness.
They also can make careless mistakes. They have inattention to details. They often don't listen when spoken to directly, failure to follow instructions, difficulty awaiting turn, and excessive talking. So the person might blurt out answers in class or answer something before the question is fully asked.
There are different medicines that can help the brain make more dopamine, such as Adderall and Ritalin and other medications, but the side effects can be irritability, decreased appetite, inability to sleep, depression, and personality changes. Psychotherapy and behavioral therapy can help children with ADD to help them deal with their learning disability. Also, people with ADD have a more symmetrical brain and shape than those who do not.
Well, as you can see in the picture, Adderall really helps those with ADD because red means more activity, so the brain with Adderall has more activity than the one without.
So this is a chart of the medicine where Adderall lasts for about 5 hours in comparison where Ritalin lasts about 2 to 4 hours.
And then for psychotherapy, there is usually for children, and the therapist will help the children learn creative learning skills and kind of teach them visual signs to remind them to keep on task. They also use constant reinforcement because children usually with ADD have low self-confidence because they feel like they're not up to speed with everyone else in their class, and so they try to, therapists try to help them and constantly reinforce and make them feel good about what they're doing. They also help add rules and structure, so for the days when the child isn't good at psychotherapy, they can kind of remember, oh yeah, my therapist told me to do this, so it kind of help them figure out what they're going to be doing when they go home to do their homework. You can also have special education with psychotherapists as their teachers, but that's for more of the severe cases.